Hi everybody. Yeah, it's Tuesday, it's August August the 2nd. That's right. Tuesday, August the 2nd. Yeah. So I'm in this little practice room here. Not using that piano. Not using that piano. Little amp. Um, is that? It's a DV. Mark. Could use that. Um, this is my guitar. I brought the Roadster. Um, Yeah, I'm using this little lamp. So yeah, basically I'm cutting classes. I don't know. It's always like this. It's kind of like the first day they put you into your group. Do you want to do rock? Do you want to do jazz? And yeah, it's kind of like what happens if you want to do stuff that's in between, or like you want to do stuff that's outside rock and jazz. What do you do then? Um, and I mean, really, the opportunity of just having like a couple of hours just to plug in and go through your scales and your modes and work through all that fancy stuff. How often do you actually get to do that? At most, I think most of us only have like maybe an hour in the evening after work, and if that, so. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do this morning, and yeah, I'll keep you posted of how it goes. All right, thank you. Tuesday, I ended up cutting the classes. Yeah, no, not classes. The first class, which was the guitar class. Main reason for that was I knew I wasn't going to get as much. We'd only have like 4 or 5 actual lessons from the tutor. So after 5 lessons, you're not going to suddenly turn into Joe Pass. It just can't be done. Or maybe you might want to differ with that. But I had I had a big stack of scales and exercises which I wanted to go through just to bring myself up to speed. Particularly the modes of the harmonic minor scale and the modes of the melodic minor scale, because I knew that this stuff was going to come up, and especially in that harmony class in the afternoon, I just had a feeling that they were going to go over that kind of material, that kind of ground, and to be honest, I've just been quite kind of rusty on it, so. So I mean, like last week, I did actually post like a short clip of me just doing some warm-ups in one of the practice rooms. So I'll give you a brief resume of that, and then you can pass your opinion on it. Yeah, one more thing. My room is B12. Seems appropriate since I'm B12 deficient. Okay, now looking at that, it's pretty obvious I'm not actually listening to what I'm playing. I've got no feel for the notes. I'm not actually savouring. I'm not actually savouring the notes as I'm playing them, or like trying to understand what the actual intervals are. I'm just blasting through as fast as I can, and that seems to be, I don't know, that seems to be a disease, if you like. This whole fastest gun in the West, this whole thing about the most insane playing, stuff like Instagram, YouTube, blah blah blah. That seems to be what gets the hits. So I've sort of been under that spell for a while, and I think this is one thing that really needs deprogramming. It might be one reason why I was finding it so hard in the bebop class, because without the actual feel for the notes, without actually understanding what I'm doing, then it's going to be no good. You know, all I'm doing is just blasting through notes. So so from the actual harmony class, you know, if particularly on the Monday, I knew that, you know, I had a lot of stuff to do, but by the Tuesday theory class, which I'll get to in a moment, I knew I was going to have to start rethinking, you know, the way I play and the way that I actually listen to what I'm doing when I do play. Anyway, so yeah, but I did manage to get a good couple of hours in just going through my scales, which at least is something. All right, so then we'll move on to the rock workshop, and I've got a clip of that now. That was in the theatre, and it was typically like this every day. And on the Tuesday, I think we were doing In These Shoes by Kirsty MacColl. It's sort of like a Latin funk sort of samba type piece. It's very sort of Santana-ish, I thought. Yeah, so I'll give you a clip of that, and then I'll give you a bit more of a comment on that, and then we go from there. All right. I'm going to give you a little clip there. That was pretty much how it was. You know, a lot of that, what's that phrase? Hurry up and wait. So there's a lot of like sitting around. I think there was 8 or even 9 guitarists on the course. So, and they just had like 2 at a time would come up and play the part. So, so there was a lot of sitting around. And the only thing is though, because I was older than like a lot of the guitarists, the teacher would show you the grips, because like a lot of these are, you know, like sort of funky type songs. So he'd show you the grips, and I was like trying to like explain where that little grip came from, and then the teacher would come over and say, no, that's not the chord. No, this is the chord, and then just show you the grip again. So I didn't actually explain where that sort of little cut down chord actually came from. So I kind of felt like, okay, well maybe I should just shut my mouth here, because I'm not a teacher. I'm not the group leader. Maybe I should, you know, just be quiet. Let them get on with it. The harmony class, that was yeah, that was getting hard actually again. We were doing Scrapple from the Apple by Charlie Parker. It's actually in Whiplash, you know, in the scene where sort of like Fletcher first picks Andy in the you know, in the audition, and he's going, and you know, he's going through the saxophonist, and he's going, go on, play so and so, and then you get a little bit, just a little snippet of Scrapple from the Apple, if you're not that familiar with it. And so, but actually, being honest, I wasn't that familiar with it. I mean, it's not the sort of music I normally play. So I was trying to play this music, and I was, to be honest, I was really struggling with it, because you know, they were sort of like, they gave you the lead sheet, and then they says, right, so play it, and then like, you know, after like half an hour, it was right, well, put your lead sheets down now, and you should be able to play it from memory. All right, or we should be able to play it in a different key. Oh, okay. But sometimes, you know, because like you've got sort of a room full of, you know, I think about between 6 and 8 saxophonists, and, you know, like a couple of bass players. I think there's 3 of us. No, two guitarists. I think there's 3 or 4 pianists. A couple of bass players. Because everybody's like trying to learn their part all at once, you're getting like a lot of cacophony going on, and you can't hear yourself think. So that was a bit of a problem. So anyway, I did the best I could with that. And then in the afternoon, because I got talking with a girl called Abby, who's like a big fan of the Police, and she had a t-shirt on with the Police. So I was thinking, well, maybe we could do some police covers. So I went along to the rock workshop in the afternoon rather than that jazz session, and I says, oh, why don't we do that police? And then she says, oh, I'm sorry, I'm already in another group. I'm doing an Eagles cover. Oh, okay. Left it, and so then I got my little. I ended up finding being put into a group. However, of course, I was older than they were, and that may have been a problem though, because like, you know, you put an older person in a room full of like teenagers, and automatically they think that you're like the teacher or whatever. And I'm not, you know, in that case, you know. So that was a problem, and of course, like the singer had said, well, let's do Message in a Bottle, which is one of the most difficult songs to do. I mean, it's got those big stretches in it. Now I can do it because I've got those big fingers, but trying to explain that to like the other guitarists, and then of course like the guitar teachers there saying, oh well, we can figure out guitar parts for it. And so anyway, we tried it, and it was a disaster basically. So then they moved on, and then they said, well, let's do a Kings of Leon song. Let's do Sex It on Fire. So we were working through that, and then there's basically 3 parts to it. And I was kind of, you know, I was trying, but I'm not the biggest Kings of Leon fan. And sorry if you are, but I was kind of finding it a little bit monotonous. So I was coming out of there feeling a bit jaded. Anyway, so yeah, so I went for dinner, and then there was an evening concert, as there always was. You know, in the evening there was like an evening concert followed by what's known as the club, and the club is like an open mic evening. Yeah, so in the club, I decided I'd play, because I haven't actually. I mean, apart from YouTube, no offense to you guys, but it's not the same as actually getting up in front of a room full of people, and you know, and performing. So I decided I'd put my name down for the club. So I did my Latin arrangement of Tornado of Souls. There's a clip of, you should be able to find it somewhere on my channel. Funny thing was though, there was like Bruce the guitar teacher, you know, because he's introducing it, and he's doing it in the style of that, you know, in the fast show. Hi, welcome to Jazz Club. Nice, you know, and all that kind of thing. And when I said what it was called, I said, oh yeah, Tornado of Souls. I didn't say it was by. So he's going, yeah, Tornado with Soul, yeah. And I went, no, Tornado of Souls, yeah. Tornado with Souls, yeah. No, Tornado of Souls. All right, then he got it eventually, and I played it, and it went down really well. You know, like everybody's clapping along and dancing and stuff like that. Little did they know it was a Megadeth song, but anyway, it's like my sort of Latin, my Latin arrangement of that. But also in the club that night, there was this young lad called Oscar who plays the drums. I think he's autistic or something along those lines. He's very quiet. Especially at dinner time, quite often he'd be sat on his own. He always seemed to be like in the world of his own, you know. And sometimes I was feeling a bit concerned. I mean, maybe he wanted to sit on his own. I don't know. But he put his name down, and he did a drum solo, and we never heard anything like it. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of those things. I mean, I have this theory, you know, that maybe sort of like some of the best musicians do have like sort of Asperger's or autism or something along those lines. And the thing was that after that performance, you know, it was kind of like a sort of cross between Buddy Rich and Cozy Powell. But you know, after that, then a lot more people were interested in him, and they actually wanted him in their group. But so that was a bit of an eye-opener as well. You know, that just because somebody's quiet doesn't necessarily push themselves forward. Doesn't mean that they're not to be. You know, that they shouldn't be in your group. You know, it just shows really how you know, the whole the activist, you know, the even the narcissist in, you know, sometimes that seems to win out over actual core talent, you know. It's very humbling in that sense. Um, and and yeah, and now, I mean, I should actually, you know, just start to get on to this other thing about, you know, like the Guildhall. They've got this inclusive culture, which is, you know, of the various places that I've studied, this is one of the best, because it does give you that sort of inclusive culture, you know, where, you know, the main thing is that we're you know, we're interested in music or drama or theatre or whatever. And the other things, that's excess baggage, that's your ego, you know. But it's getting past that baggage stage, you know, where you can actually just get to the point where you're focusing on your crafts, which is either music or drama or you know, performance, or, you know, all these other all these things. And I think that's where I want to leave it for today. You know, the fact that you know, that why are we so seduced by, you know, like vanity and you know, the way that somebody looks over the way that somebody actually performs, or the actual core talent that somebody's got. You know, why is that? Anyway, I'll post Wednesdays tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. All right, thanks for watching.